Hey, frienderinos, welcome to your Tuesday edition of Hot News. We got a lot to talk about, including don't expect to be able to buy an RX 6000 card. Then we also got Apple destroying Nvidia, as well as some PlayStation 5 hiccups that have been happening. So let's get into that after we talk about today's video sponsor.
My friends, today's video is brought to you by Helix Sleep and their mattresses. These are some of the comfiest mattresses we've ever had, and they actually gave Reece and Catlin their own mattresses, which they're going to tell you about them for a second.
So we've had these mattresses for about 6 months now, and I have to say they've been like the biggest game changer when it comes to my sleep. I basically dropped down on this thing and I'm out. That for me was...
Tell me why you love your Helix mattress.
Because it's soft and it feels like a cloud. I sleep very well with my mattress.
Look at it.
I love it. It's great because if you try to jump on it, you just sink in. And it feels like a cloud and like I'm being swallowed by a giant marshmallow.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
So if you want to get one of Helix Sleep's mattress, you can go over to their website using the link in the video description and take their sleep quiz to match with the mattress that's best for you. Whether you're a front sleeper, back sleeper, side sleeper, whether you like it medium, firm, or soft, you can get a mattress that is catered to your exact needs like Reece and Catlin have and have been sleeping like babies ever since. And if you use the link in the video description, helixsleep.com/UFDtech, you can get $200 off a mattress with them and 2 free super mega comfy pillows. Yeah, it's a great offer. And listen, there's no risk in case you actually don't end up liking your mattress for whatever reason. I'm going to be baffled for you to have a reason to not like these because they have a 100-night sleep trial. That means that if you don't like it within 100 days, they will pick it up from you and give you a full refund on the mattress that you're choosing. I can't see a reason why you'll do that, but it's a great thing for Helix Sleep to offer. Reece, Catlin, love their mattress. It's sad that they're moving back to South Africa so they can't use them anymore, but you better believe I'm gonna be keeping these for my family because holy crap, these are some of the best mattresses that I've ever sat on. Because I don't sleep with Reece. So I can't say that I've slept on this bed.
Let's jump on into it with the fact that according to a report out of Hardware Unboxed, the RX 6800 series launch is going to seem pretty terrible with regards to stock, saying that they've only spoken to Australian retailers and that there might be a difference amongst different regions, but according to Australian retailers, it doesn't look like this is going to be better than the 30 series, which is kind of to have been expected. The reason that this is making news, however, not something that everybody would have just taken, is the fact that this tweet exists where somebody said that $10 says AMD will be a paper launch too, and somebody from AMD had to chime in and say, I look forward to taking your $10. Well, at least according to Hardware Box in Australia, it looks like that's going to continue to be the case. But I want to point you to something else that gives us good indication that the RX 6000 series likely won't be available either, which is that Xbox Series X and S have launched and they smashed sales records. Speaking of buying an Xbox Series S, I got super lucky on this because I was looking to get some accessories for my PS5 for the video we did where we, traded a whole PC for it. Anyways, the GameStop guy took a call and they were like, yeah, we have one Series S left since somebody didn't pick up their pre-order. And I was right there in line and I was like, yes, sir, I'll take that for my YouTube videos. And I got one. Anyways, it looks like the indication is that they're selling really good. Analysts are expecting that the Series X/S will sell around 44 million units in the next 4 years. It would put them at about 3.5 to 4 million units at launch. And also one of the big things is that 70% of owners are now having Xbox Game Pass, which is actually what I do with the Series S. It's going to be perfect for my kids to make it easy for them to play on the TV. Anyways, the reason all of this matters is that Microsoft came out in an interview saying that stock issues with the Series S and Series X will continue at least until April 2021. They said they think we'll continue to see supply shortages as we head into the post-holiday quarter, so January 1st to March 31st, 2021, and then when we get to April 1st, the supply chain should be fine so that you can actually have the ability to walk into a store and pick one up. So according to Microsoft, you're not going to be able to easily buy an Xbox until April. Now, in case you don't know, PlayStation 5 and Xbox are all produced by TSMC, which is the same company that's going to be producing these RX 6000 series GPUs. But then on top of that, we already have stock issues on something that AMD recently launched, the Ryzen 5000 series, which again is produced by TSMC on 7 nanometers. So there's this giant influx of demand for TSMC 7 nanometers to produce all of these things that are coming out. And at least according to everything that's launched so far, we're not able to keep up with stock. And according to Microsoft, it's going to be a long, hard 4 or 5 months before you're going to be easily able to pick one up. Whether or not that constitutes a paper launch, I guess the $10 from Frank Azor will be determined by, but good luck trying to get an RX 6000 series. I personally won't be able to because I'll be at the airport dropping Reece and Catlin off when they finally launch. So thanks, Reece and Catlin. We could go ahead and talk about some custom RX 6000s that have been pictured. The 6800 XT Taichi from ASRock. It looks very similar to the 5000 series. Then we also got XFX's Merc 319, Speedster Merc 319, which, you know, I like the name Thick, but this is getting, and Fat Boy, those were good, but Speedster Merc 319, XFX. Get somebody new in your branding department. Then yesterday, AMD also announced its first CDNA architecture GPU, the Radeon MI100, saying that it's the world's fastest high-performance compute accelerator card. You're never going to get this. It's just a giant server beast. 184 teraflops in FP16, 46.1 in FP32, 92.3 teraflops in bfloat 16, 32 gigs of HBM2, 1.23 terabytes per second of memory bandwidth. This is a chonker in the speed department, which apparently Apple's M1 is also looking to do that. A chip that only draws 15 watts, according to benchmarks that just came out, beats the 1050 Ti and the RX 560, which, mind you, are both GPUs that take roughly 75 watts. We're talking about an SoC with 15 watts beating out a 75 watt GPU. That is pretty dang impressive, and it's not just by a small margin. The M1 chips by Apple should be out this week, so we can have more official benchmarks. Obviously, the biggest hindrance to the M1 is going to be app support, with developers actually coding their programs for ARM as opposed to x86. So benchmarks might be nice, but they don't necessarily indicate the full performance scope of what you're going to get out of the chip, because you need app development and Photoshop's not out yet, which is also the case when it comes to next gen consoles. There's hardly app support that's going on there, but Steam has updated their client so that you can support Xbox Series X and S and PS5 controllers. In case you wanted to do that, you can now use your DualSense on the PC. Let's talk about a game that is on the PS5. Demon's Souls, the remake, looks spectacular, by the way. I've very much been enjoying looking at it. I don't necessarily enjoy playing these. It looks like Sony might be acquiring Bluepoint Games, who is the company behind the remake. They also did the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, which it just makes sense. They're working on Sony's IPs, knocking it out of the park, frankly. And yeah, it would make sense that Sony would bring them in-house. But what's in-house right now on the PS5 is that you can accidentally close out of the game way too dang easily. This is something that they have to fix in post, because it's really bad. When you switch from one game on a PS5 to another, there's no confirmation screen that you wanted to X out, and then it just closes the game. It doesn't have quick resume like Microsoft does, where there's multiple games that you can have open at the same time. But even that has its problem, because there's no pop-up that lets you know that your last one in the queue is going to now get bumped. Anyways, it's too easy. It needs to be fixed. What also needs to be fixed is the fact that you cannot back up PS5 games to USB. You can only do that via PS Plus, which means you'd have to pay for it. However, if you have PS4 games on your PS5, you can still back those up to USB. So it feels like there's just software bugs that are going on with the PS5 that need to be updated soon. It's not so bad. Like, I haven't personally experienced anything with my PS5 that's like, this is awful, but it's just these minor tweaks that obviously need to be fixed post-launch, which happens when you're launching a brand new generation. It didn't happen for Microsoft because they're not launching a brand new generation. They're just launching a faster one. But YouTube won't be launching a Rewind this year. They came out with a post saying that we suck at this, so we don't want to do it again this year. That's the general idea. That's my interpretation of it, at least. And I interpret that TSMC is getting $3.5 billion approved for an Arizona foundry that they're going to start making. They're going to do 5 nanometer chip production, looking to get 20,000 wafers per month, begin construction 2021, and expect to complete in 2024. TSMC, American soil. And now there's right soil when it comes to cryptocurrency. You can now buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency via a PayPal, with them also announcing that in the first half of 2021, you should be able to get Venmo and all of that sometime soon. Speaking of digital currency, let's talk about digital animals. Boston Dynamics is allegedly getting bought out by Hyundai, which actually makes a lot more electronics than I realized. But this is apparently the third time that Boston Dynamics will be flip bought and sold. They're going to be sold by SoftBank for a deal for up to $1 billion. I don't know if Hyundai is buying this so that they can use them as a mode of transportation, or if they're buying it so that they can actually just have giant robot dogs in their factories. But the future's scary, my friends. Robot dogs coming to get you. But I'm not coming to get you anymore, because this episode of Hot News is over. It's going to be the last episode of Hot News that Reece and Catlin are working on here in the United States. They are leaving, going bye-bye. So sad. Don't forget about today's video sponsor.
And if you use the link in the video description, helixsleep.com/UFD Tech, you can get $200 off a mattress with them and 2 free super mega comfy pillows. Yeah, it's a great offer.
And that awkward transition to the sponsor aside, I'm out of here. Hit like, get subscribed, all that. Bye.